to really just go deep and try to figure out, like, where do my patterns come from, and behavioral patterns, and I'm going to be 34 years old next week. I don't know. I still feel young, but it sucks when there's a lot of people out there who say that 30s is old, and you're washed up, and you know, you're going downhill, and it's just like, I don't like hearing all that stuff, and I hear it a lot of different places, a lot of different people, especially a lot from people who are in their 30s. Like, I think 30s is still young. I think even 40s is still young. Like, and I've always been one of those people who subscribes with the idea that you're as young as you feel, and age is just a number. That's what they say at work every time somebody has a birthday. That in my department, they just say age is just a number. But it is, you know, like, I really have a problem with people who think that getting older is such a negative thing. I really hate that, especially in, like, in terms of your worth. And and like, I don't believe that at all. Your worth does not degrade the older that you get. Like, that's so stupid. I hate that idea. And like, some BS notion that just because the younger you are, the more value you have, and like, why? I mean, considered young, like, 20s, that's such that's such a short amount of time, and that's such a short period to have worth, you know. I don't know, that really bothers me when people talk about that. But anyway, around my birthday, I always just think about, like, why am I still single, if I am single, which the last 2 years I have been now, and yeah, I do wonder, like, why am I 34 and still single, and why is it so hard for me? Why is dating so hard for me? Why is it so hard for me to connect with people? There's the phrase that, oh, you just haven't found the right person yet. You haven't found the right one for you. And I mean, maybe that's the case, but I feel like if you keep having these patterns of relationships not lasting, or choosing the wrong people, or not even be able to connect in the first place with people, then I feel like I need to go deeper and find out what is hindering me. And I do have a good idea. I made a video before talking about attachment theory, and if you don't know what attachment theory is, I really highly suggest that you check it out, because there's 4 different attachment styles, and the goal is to be secure, and the other 3 are insecure attachment styles. And it just it's been mind-blowing for me. I believe in it like 100%, because when you look around at other people in relationships, or just people how they interact in dating, you can really see a lot of the insecure attachment styles. You can really see and if you can like do more research on that and find out why you are the way you are, it can help you become more secure. And our attachment styles are usually formed in and if you can like do more research on that and find out why you are the way you are, it can help you become more secure. And our attachment styles are usually formed in childhood, but they can change. Like you can change as an adult too. It's pretty much formed by our experiences and the people that we were around and interact and involved with. I am obviously an insecure attachment style. Mine is fearful avoidant. So the 3 insecure attachment styles are anxious preoccupied, and those are the people that are like really clingy and needy, and they need love. They're trying to get love from people, trying to always like, this person is my source of love and I have to like chase them down and I need to get their love. And dismissive avoidant, they are the people who are very like kind of standoffish, not very open with their feelings, not very affectionate usually, and they don't like to get too close emotionally. They like to be very independent and like have their space. And then I'm right in the middle. Fearful avoidance. They have qualities of both the anxious preoccupied and the dismissive avoidant. That's why it's called fearful avoidant, and it's kind of like oscillating between the two. So a fearful avoidant is very much like push pull, like come here and go away, come here and go away. It's like the hot and cold people. I'm sure you've heard of that term. A lot of hot and cold people, not always. Some people are just like emotionally manipulative, but a lot of people who are hot and cold, I would say, have this attachment style, and it's very much, I think, stems from fear of abandonment. You really want to be close to someone, but at the same time you don't want to get too close. And so when this is kind of like when you're dating somebody, a fearful avoidant will, this is how their mindset is. It's like, if somebody pulls away from me, I want them back. I don't want them to leave me. I don't want them to abandon me, and I get like, it affects my emotions a lot. And like, fearful avoidants aren't clingy like the anxious preoccupied, but they feel the anxiety like deep within them, like lots of anxiety when somebody's going to leave, or when somebody does, you perceive that somebody does leave. And then on the other end, and then what also happens is when somebody gets too close to you emotionally, it feels very uncomfortable and like, oh, I have to get away from this person, and like I have to keep my distance, and I have to keep my space, and I have to censor myself. I can't let this person know who I am totally. I can't be completely open with this person. I can't be very affectionate with them. I can't be open emotionally. I've always really struggled with being emotionally expressive and telling people how I feel. That's so hard for me. And so, as you can see, in a relationship, like, that is a dynamic that is not conducive to a relationship. So it's like, no wonder I can't keep a relationship or even start one half the time, most of the time anyway, because I push people away so much because of these patterns that I have and that I learned in my life. Like, this is all the attachment styles, the insecure attachment that they have is a coping mechanism for what they dealt with in life. But it's not a healthy coping mechanism. It hinders, but it's not a healthy coping mechanism. It hinders them in dating and just relationships of all kind, friendships. I do the same thing. It's not just romantic, like, even with my friends, it's push-pull, and I isolate myself a lot of times because, like, I have to have my distance. I can't be, like, a 100% in it. So I have to do more work to uncover, like, how I can change that. Basically, I have to learn to be more emotionally expressive, tell people how I feel, be more open, be more affectionate, and, you know, not get so anxious too, and like constantly worrying or perceiving that I'm going to be left and abandoned. But it's hard, like when you're in the moment, it those feelings, it's very like reactionary in all the attachment styles to insecure too. It's you're reacting to these like emotional triggers that you have of, this makes me feel really uncomfortable, so then I do this, but that's not helpful in a relationship. And I was also thinking, like, how your life really shapes you as a person. There's that quote that, don't let your past define you, but I think your past does define you. Until you can do a lot of work, and it usually takes a lot of work to, like, it's not as simple as being like, I'm not gonna let my past define me anymore this day forward. Like, it doesn't work that way. Because you have all these stored memories and coping mechanisms and negative behavioral patterns and thoughts and beliefs and ideas about who you are, and it really affects your life and your relationships. So, like, the things that happen to you definitely do shape who you are. And I was thinking, like, how different would I have turned out if this had been different? Like, for example, being bullied in school. Like, I was not bullied every day, thankfully, and I feel sorry for kids who are, but there was definitely periods where I was bullied quite a lot, and it was just certain people, and they didn't just bully me, like they bullied other kids too. Like, that stuff sticks with you. The things that they say about you and the things that they make fun of you for, and like that stuff, that stays with you and it affects your self-esteem. And I'm definitely very anti-bullying because it's just terrible. It really affects people, and they take that into adulthood, and I mean that's part of the problems that they have to have then because of how they were treated and the things that were said to them, the awful things that were said to them. And I just wonder, like, if I had fit in more in school and if I had not been bullied, I feel like I would have been a lot different as a person. I feel like I would be a lot more secure. And like, that's just an example. There's been a lot of other shit that has happened to me. I know that it's up to me now. Like, I can't change any of that stuff, but it's up to me to fix the negative beliefs within myself, and it's a lot of work. And I've been working on it, and I've made some progress. I know that I've made progress because I see it, but I just feel like there's a lot more to do yet. You know, I never had any relationships in school. I never had any positive male attention. And I think that really affected me because those are your formative years where your brain is developing and you're really developing your sense of self during those years. And so now it's like stuck with me in my mind, like still, that I'm not good enough. I don't get chosen. I'm invisible. There's always so many better than me. And these are like deeply held beliefs, like deep in your subconscious, so it's hard to get rid of those. But I know I have to try to if I ever want to have a relationship. And I just, all of that is just part of like self-love and learning to love myself. I know there's a lot of talk about self-love out there, but it really is important. It's so important because otherwise you just can't have a happy, fulfilling life if you don't love yourself. I mean, I'm getting better. I like myself more consistently now. I used to hate myself. But yeah, it's getting better, and it's just a lot of work, like I said, and I really do think that people should take a look at themselves and see what they can work on. There's always room for improvement, and like nobody is perfect, and I know that too. Like, I know that I don't have to like strive for perfection in order to get a relationship, because nobody is perfect and nobody's relationship is perfect. Everybody has issues, everybody has some kind of baggage, so it's about trying to get more secure so that you can have a healthier relationship. So yeah, every day is just a work in progress. we're all a work in progress. And I guess that's all I have to say right now. And yeah, definitely let me know if there's any topics that you would like me to talk about, and I definitely would make more videos, you know, if I had some more ideas. And see you in my next video.